Hey guys, Youngblood with you, and today I wanted to do a quick video on something that was teased a little over a month ago in the ATV specials that were released, and that's the now somewhat famous whiteboard with some of the ships that are slated to be released and what's currently being worked on, as well as some statuses for their development. Now, part of the reason that we're talking about this is based on the kind of Help the Herald promotion that's going on right now that's probably leading up to a sale likely starting tomorrow. Now, on that board, there were several ships that were listed at various levels of development, and I think most likely the one that we're going to see tomorrow is probably the Aegis Terrapin. Now, the Terrapin was concepted during the same wave that the Reliant was, and is a smaller-sized craft with the tagline of a tough nut to crack, considering it's supposed to be the most heavily armored, lower-priced ship in the game. Now, on top of the fact that the whole dang ship is wrapped in crazy amounts of armor, it's also got the largest shield generator available on a ship in this class. So while it's durable and it's supposed to be made by Aegis, I'm not sure I would expect this to be a combat ship, especially since they talk about a focus on long-range survey missions, as well as being a popular option amongst miners considering the initial ability to hold ore on the inside of the ship. The reason that I say the ship is probably coming is because it's the only one on the whiteboard that was really listed as ready for concept sale. So I would expect to see more images as we get more information from CIG if that is the direction that they're going to end up heading. Now, other ships that are going to be worked on are including the F8 Lightning, which is in concept right now. Now, the sale isn't going to be for the F8 Lightning, as that's a known military-exclusive space superiority platform, basically the top-tier military fighter ship, so it's not going to be available for civilians or for us to buy. But the ship does need to be developed for its use in the Squadron 42 campaign. Past that, we also see the 85X Runabout is listed as ready to be concept, and that's the Origin snubcraft that comes with the 890 jump, and it is a sexy little ship. Plus, we also have the Anvil Hurricane in that same status. The Hurricane is an interesting ship because while the Terrapin is kind of like a turtle and it relies on its armor, the Hurricane sacrifices some speed, some agility, some stealth to bring what's supposed to be an absurd amount of firepower. Now, we don't know any details on this, but I would expect it to be lots of smaller weapons, considering that this was part of the starter ship wave as well. So we're probably talking about lots of size 1 or size 2 mounts, and my guess is actually probably 4 size 2 mounts that's either capable or comes stock with twin-linked weapons, so you would end up seeing something like 8 size 1 weapons, or something just really crazy like that. Because when I hear Hurricane, I just think some wild type of design. Now, that's a pure guess, so don't take that to the bank, but it is worth noting considering they talk about customizable weapon hardpoints that are promised to be able to adjusted to your liking. Then it also has a militia-focused Hurricane design. You know, basically, I think it's giving us a possibility for a really unique ship platform. Now, there are a few other ships that were mentioned, mostly ones that we don't know anything about, but the Origin 600 series was listed, and that'll probably end up following the same naming conventions of the line, like the 300 series of the 890. And it's probably also going to be a touring type of multi-purpose craft that falls somewhere in size between, my guess here would be a Freelancer and a Constellation, which is a good place to be since there's not a lot of ships in that category that fall into that design size. Now, there's also 2 new ships that were mentioned that I personally don't really think we know anything about at this point, and those are going to be the Aegis Eclipse and the Misk Racer. Now, that could either be Misk Racer or it could be Misk Razor. We don't really know because it's actually just seeing what was ever on this whiteboard, which is kind of blurry in the image anyways. But I don't think either of those really make a lot of sense because Misk is mostly focused on industrial ships. So having a racer would be an interesting direction from that manufacturer. And Razor doesn't really fit the naming conventions of the company either. So time's going to tell, but there's certainly more information and more ships that are on the block to be released. So at this point, let's sit tight. We should be getting an announcement hopefully today or tomorrow, or maybe even sooner, just letting us know what's going to be up for sale, how long it's going to be, and we'll talk about and do follow-up videos as soon as we get that information. So other than that, you can also count on the Argo going up for sale whenever they go live with 2.5, which I would guess is going to happen pretty soon. So if you have questions about any of this, please let me know. Otherwise, stay tuned for a lot more, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.